Price pushes up, but it cannot stay above. The session forms inside compressed memory. May 12th Asia session forms above the midpoint of May 12th U.S. session box. It compresses by about 25%. It overlaps the old structure. It does not form an open space. It forms on top of a tight decision area. That matters. When a session forms above the midpoint, but still inside older memory, buyers must prove control fast. They must hold the upper side. They must create distance. They must stop price from returning back into the box. If they cannot do that, the upper push can become a trap. May 12th Asia session first moves up. It reaches May 12th Asia session upper boundary. It breaks above it. That looks strong. The candle pushes. The chart invites the long. But the move does not get clean freedom. Price reaches higher. Then it cannot stay there. The distance stops growing. The reaction comes back faster. The upper side starts to fail. Now price moves back down. It breaks back through May 12th U.S. session upper boundary. That changes the read. The move is no longer clean upside acceptance. It is a failed upper push. The market reached above. It could not stay above. Then it returned inside the prior box. That is where short pressure begins. Price continues down. It tests May 11th U.S. session upper boundary. That level matters. It is not just another line. It is older U.S. memory. It is the first strong lower destination after the failed upper push. If price reaches that level and cannot bounce away with force, the short has room. Now the setup becomes clear. Short entry line. May 11th U.S. session upper boundary. Stop loss line. May 6th U.S. session lower boundary. Take profit line. May 12th U.S. session lower boundary. Trailing target. May 8th U.S. session midpoint. Risk-reward ratio 3.49. The short entry sits at May 11th U.S. session upper boundary. Why there? Because price first tried to push above May 12th Asia upper boundary. Then it came back down. Then it broke back through May 12th U.S. upper memory. That failed push turns attention toward the next older boundary. May 11th U.S. upper boundary becomes the first line where sellers can press again. If price reaches that area and fails to recover above the broken memory, the short remains valid. You are not shorting the first red candle. You are shorting the failed upper acceptance. That difference matters. A red candle can be late. A failed hold gives structure. Price reaches high. It cannot stay. It returns. Then the short can form at the next memory line. Now, the stop. The stop sits at May 6th U.S. session lower boundary. That stop may look wide at first. But look at the structure. May 12th Asia session formed inside compression. The upper push moved into older memory. The short comes from failure at the upper side. If price climbs back enough to reach May 6th U.S. lower boundary, the failed upper short has lost control. The market has reclaimed too much space. The idea is no longer clean. So the stop belongs there, not where the trader feels comfortable, not directly above the entry, not inside normal reaction noise. It sits where the short idea breaks. If price gets there, you leave. No hope, no argument, no extra candle. Now the first target, May 12th U.S. session lower boundary. Why there? Because once the May 12th upper push fails, price returns into the May 12th U.S. structure. The lower boundary becomes the natural destination. That is where the box completes its downside rotation. That is where price can pause. That is where the first profit belongs. The short does not need a huge collapse to work. It only needs the failed upper push to rotate back to the lower side. That is enough. Now the trailing target, May 8th U.S. session midpoint. This deeper target only becomes valid after the first distance appears. You do not trail because you want more. You trail because price has already paid and still keeps pressure. If price reaches May 12th U.S. lower boundary and immediately reacts up, the first target has done its job. Protect. If price breaks through and keeps distance, the trail can aim deeper. The May 8th U.S. midpoint matters because it is older memory. It gives the short a structural destination beyond the local May 12th box. But the market must earn it. The stop must move with the trade. A moving target with a sleeping stop is not trailing. It is hope. And hope gives profit back. But the stop cannot be too tight. If the stop sits right behind the last red candle, normal reaction can touch it. Then the trail hurts the position. If the stop stays too far away, the trail protects nothing. So the stop follows structure, not fear, not greed, not the last candle. If price holds below May 12th U.S. lower boundary, the short can continue. If price returns above it fast, the short loses pressure. If price reclaims the broken upper area, the short is damaged. The same logic controls partial profit. If the first target pays and the move begins to slow, a conservative trader protects more first. 60% can come off first. 40% can stay for the trail. If price keeps distance and pullbacks remain shallow, an aggressive trader can leave more open. 40% first. 60% for continuation. For a second stage, the conservative path protects earlier. 50% first. 30% next. 20% last. The aggressive path leaves more for the final push. 20% first. 30% next. 50% last. But these numbers do not create the trade. They only manage a trade that already has structure. If the chart stalls, protect more. If the chart keeps distance, let the rest work. Now the May 12th Asia structure is complete. May 12th Asia session forms above May 12th U.S. midpoint. It compresses by about 25%. Price breaks above May 12th Asia upper boundary. It cannot stay above. Price breaks back through May 12th U.S. upper boundary. It tests May 11th U.S. upper boundary. The short entry sits at May 11th U.S. upper boundary. The stop sits at May 6th U.S. lower boundary. The first target sits at May 12th U.S. lower boundary. The trail reaches May 8th U.S. midpoint. Risk-reward ratio, 3.49. The trade does not come from guessing the top. It comes from failure to hold the upper side. The move reaches. The move fails. The move returns. That is where execution starts. Price drops into old support, but it cannot stay weak. The session forms inside older memory. May 13th U.S. session forms almost exactly overlapping May 8th U.S. session box. It forms just under the lower side of the nearby May 13th area. It does not form above fresh strength. It forms inside old support memory. That matters. When a session forms around older support, the first drop can look dangerous. But the real question is simple. Can price stay below support? If it can stay below, the short pressure continues. If it cannot stay below, the long can rebuild from the lower side. May 13th U.S. session first moves inside its own session box. Price does not escape cleanly. It rotates. It tests. It returns. Then price drops. It breaks below May 4th U.S. session upper boundary. That looks weak. It looks like the downside can continue. But a break alone is not enough. Price must stay below. Price must create distance. Price must stop returning. Then price drops again. It tests May 4th U.S. session lower boundary. That is the key location. Old support is being tested. If that lower boundary fails cleanly, the long is gone. If that lower boundary holds, and price starts to return, the long begins to form. Price reaches May 4th U.S. session lower boundary. It reacts. It cannot keep falling cleanly. The downside distance starts to shrink. The reaction comes back. Then price moves up. It tests May 13th U.S. session lower boundary. Now the setup is visible. Long entry line. May 4th U.S. session lower boundary. Stop loss line. April 27th U.S. session upper boundary. Take profit line. May 13th U.S. session lower boundary. Risk-reward ratio 1.52. The long entry sits at May 4th U.S. session lower boundary. Why there? Because price dropped into old support after losing May 4th U.S. upper boundary. The market tested the lower boundary. It had the chance to break down. It had the chance to continue. But it did not keep clean downside distance. That creates the long idea. You are not buying because the candle turns green. You are buying because old support refuses to release price lower. That is the difference. A green candle can be late. Support holding gives a line. The stop sits at April 27th U.S. session upper boundary. That line is deeper. It protects the long from a real breakdown. If price loses May 4th U.S. lower boundary and keeps falling toward April 27th U.S. upper memory, the support hold has failed. The long no longer has a base. The idea is broken, so the stop belongs there. Not just under the entry, not inside the first reaction, not where the ratio looks prettier. A tighter stop can make the number look better. But if it sits inside normal reaction, the chart can touch it and still complete the long later. That is not good execution. That is comfort. The stop has to protect the trade idea. If the old support fails deeply enough to reach April 27th U.S. upper boundary, the long should not still be alive. Now the target. May 13th U.S. session lower boundary. That target is not huge. It is not dramatic. But it is realistic. After price tests, May 4th U.S. lower boundary, and rebounds, the first clean destination is the lower side of the current May 13th U.S. session box. That is where price must return to prove recovery. That is where the long gets paid. The risk-reward ratio is 1.52. That is tight. So execution must be clean. This trade cannot survive sloppy entry. It cannot survive a late chase. It cannot survive a wider stop. It cannot survive hope. A 1.52 trade needs accuracy. The entry must happen near the structural support. The stop must stay fixed where the idea breaks. The target must be respected. If price reaches the target and stalls, protect. Do not pretend it is a 3.0 setup. Do not force a trail when the structure has not earned it. There is no automatic trailing target here. The base trade is already tight. If price reaches May 13th U.S. lower boundary, the first job is done. If price holds above that boundary and builds distance, a new decision can appear later. But the first trade should not assume that. It should pay at the first clear line. Now compare this with the May 12th short. The May 12th short had space. It had a failed upper push. It had a deeper rotation target. It had a trail toward older midpoint memory. Risk-reward ratio, 3.49. That trade could allow more management. This May 13th long is different. It comes from old support holding. It has a smaller target. It has a tighter ratio. Risk-reward ratio, 1.52. So the trader must change behavior. A wide short can trail. A tight long must protect faster. Same method, different management. Now look at the psychology. After a big drop, many traders want to keep shorting. They see price under the May 4th upper boundary. They see red candles. They expect continuation. But price reaches May 4th U.S. lower boundary. It does not keep falling. It starts to return. That is where the short becomes dangerous. The late short gets trapped. The early long gets structure. The difference is location, not opinion. If you short after price already reaches old lower support, you are selling into a reaction zone. If you wait for support to hold, you can build the long from the place where sellers fail. That is the method. Price reaches lower memory. Sellers try to continue. Continuation fails. Price returns. Now the long can form. But because the target is close, the trade must stay modest. No oversized position. No late entry. No emotional trail. The stop must stay at April 27th U.S. upper boundary. The target must stay at May 13th U.S. lower boundary. The trade either pays cleanly or it should be skipped. Now read the full May 13th U.S. sequence. May 13th U.S. session forms almost overlapping May 8th U.S. session box. Price moves inside the session box. Then it breaks below May 4th U.S. upper boundary. Then it tests May 4th U.S. lower boundary. Then it rises back toward May 13th U.S. lower boundary. The long entry sits at May 4th U.S. lower boundary. The stop sits at April 27th U.S. upper boundary. The target sits at May 13th U.S. lower boundary. Risk-reward ratio, 1.52. The trade is not big, but it is structured. It is not a breakout chase. It is not a random reversal. It is support holding after downside pressure. That is enough for a clean, tactical long. Now the main lesson. A market can break lower and still produce a long. A market can look weak and still refuse to stay weak. A lower boundary can become the place where sellers fail. When that happens, the trade can flip. But only if the entry, stop, and target still make sense. Here, the target is close, so the trade needs discipline. If price reaches the target, take the result. If price stalls before the target, reduce risk. If price loses the support, leave. No debate. The short pays from failed upper structure. The long forms from defended lower memory. Both trades come from the same rule. Price reaches. It reacts. It holds or fails. Then the trade appears.